Tonight's tactical enhancement is the last of the 21-year-old Johnny Walker. Warhammer, the old world, 1500 points, straight up biffo, and I'm fielding my Daemons again against, well, Doug, talk us through what you've got.
Doombull, General, Battle Standard Bearer on Razor Gore Chariot,
Righto.
2 ambushing Minotaurs with the champion.
Ambushing.
Yes.
Wow.
Tuskor Chariot, a level 2 Shaman with Demonology, a Dragon Ogre Shartak, a Razor Gore, 28 Gore with additional hand weapons and full command, and a Gorgon.
The Gorgon. Oh, those big thingies. So this is originally some other sort of sculpt before it got called a Gorgon. What's this fella?
This, the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. So in 8th edition, it's 275 points, exactly the same as a Gorgon, but comes stock on the 100 by 60 mil base, which is what the new Gorgon base size is.
So is this actually a Games Workshop miniature?
Yes, via Forge World, yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
for Fantasy as well.
Well, I had no idea. There you go.
The Wind of the Beasts, Wind of Magic made manifest was the lore for that creature.
Shit. All right. So this is a one big unit. So it's
There's not quite as many there. It's just that they all might do. So there's 28 guys total.
okie dokie.
That's just the secondary movement, so I can move them around.
Okie dokie. No worries. Well, and up against that, I originally did a 1500 point Wood Elf army complete with a 500 point Lord on Dragon, but then I thought, no, that's mean. So I'm taking an army which I'm still figuring out how to use. I've had, I think, one proper game with them, and it didn't go very well. So we got, what have we got? We've got 2 units of 9, because 9's the magic number for, you know how every law's got its number. These guys are apparently 9, so 9's the minimum unit size. 2 units of 9 Blue Horrors, Hock and Flames. 2 units of 9 Pink Horrors, who actually have full command. It's just, you can't see it because
the hand is a banner and one of the other hands is the instrument.
Yeah, I mean, they're telling you they've got a standard and seeing if you're going to believe them or not.
Big hands there, I feel that could be big enough to be a standard.
Big wallopy fisticuffs. And then we've got 2 units of 3 of the flying hypercolour t-shirts and 2 units of 3 flamers. Then I've got this chap who I'm calling a herald on his disc, and we've got Big Bird himself, the mighty bin chicken. And the bin chicken's a level 4 today, tooled up with some odds and ends that make him a bit harder to kill. I want a bit fightier. And then the disc guy is level 1 and pretty much in the buff because I ran out of points at this juncture. And that's it. So what we'll do now is we will roll the dice and see who begins deployment. Do you have a dice, sir?
I do.
Alright, it's a tie.
Okay.
Oh, and it's a 4. And... fucking hell. Hey,
Tzeench.
Alright. Well,
inclusive in the end.
you can put an object down to start. We'll check in at the end of deployment. Alright, and deployment is complete. And let's have a look. We have the Gorgon over here. Now, hiding behind this little tower, there's a thingy that's a scout. I've got no idea what it is or how scary it is.
We shall see. It's a level 2 shaman.
Really?
Yes.
That's the is it? Okay, well, we'll see how he goes. We've got a chariot. We have another chariot with a big thing towing it, and it's got a standard bearer on it.
But I think they're heavy chariots, aren't they?
Yeah, all
Yes, these
Beastmen
are,
chariots.
yeah.
Yes.
Then we've got a shed ton of these fellas. You got characters. Oh, you got the Doomball in there.
Yes.
Right. That's worth bearing in mind. And we've got that thing, which I'm assuming is quite dangerous.
Your Dragon Ogre Shartak.
Yeah, that should be nasty. and that guy. And opposing that, we have a level 1 mage on a disc. Some skirmish. Well, they're not skirmishers. They're open order and they can move through cover. So that's why I've stuck these guys in the fringes. Some shooters, some pink horrors who are, we'll see how long they last. More shooters, and then we've got a fairly fast-moving flank over here. Really, it's only the pink horrors that got any strength in that mix. We'll see how they go, and a whole lot of nasties over here. And the boss is on the flank because, well, I don't really want to take that on. That sounds suicidal. I want to do a flank run with the big boy and see if we can make him work. On that note, let's grab a dice and roll for first turn.
Before we do, I do get my Vanguard move as well. So scan Vanguard, so I'm going to use that to move into the tower. So I guess he just starts in the tower. Makes it easier.
All right, no worries. First turn, you get a +1. I got a 6. You get a 2. I still get first turn. All right. Well, we'll check in after the end of Demons turn 1. End of Demons turn 1. And we had these guys sneak through the trees just because they can, and I don't know what else to do with them. And these flames moved up, but I'm keeping just outside the charge range of that mayhem over there. These guys stayed still because I don't know what to do with them. And this guy came screaming up the flank here on his disc and hid behind the trees. Because I didn't really want to move him into the trees, even though he's got some shooting ability. Over here, we angled things in order to get shots at the scout in the tower. And these guys moved up on the flank. He moved up on the flank a bit, but more to really just take out this guy in the building. So we hocked a flying fuck ton of flames of Tzeench at that building. And because of the cover and the fact that we moved and we're doing multi-shot, we did nothing to that guy in there. Even Birdie Num Num over here didn't do anything to the guy in there. The tower's made of wood though, so there's probably not much of it left. Then, after we coughed up even a magic didn't work. We tried to reduce the toughness on the thing, that didn't work. Or did it?
Not that one.
No, okay. So in the end, we cast a magic missile from this guy. It rolled really low, but just enough to kill the bastard.
Summoning.
Yes, the summoning, the signature spell.
To eat him in the building.
Yeah, that'll learn him. So that burning husk has got a dead guy in it. And that is the end of Demons turn 1. So we'll go over to the Beastmen turn 1 and check in after that. Right, end of turn 1 Beastmen. And the first thing he did was roll and... Let's try that again. The first thing he did was roll on Eye of the Gods for this chap. Standard bearer there. And the Doom Bull, big scary motherfucker there. And he rolled up Snake Eyes. They are both now stupid.
Yes.
So that was fairly spectacular. I've not seen that happen before. Normally Eye of the Gods does horrible things that I don't like very much.
Tzeench was indeed watching, but the Beastmen's detriment.
Oh, you can never trust these fuckers around dice. But what happened is everything came forward ready for a fight, which they're rather good at, so why wouldn't you?
Yes.
And I've got to think really hard about what the hell do I do about this, because it's not easy.
With no magic, I think that's got to be one of my fastest turns that I've ever played here. Especially when I've still got pretty much my whole army except for one unit. So
oh, that's right.
Very quick turn.
Yeah, there's no magic anymore because that guy's dead.
Yes, and no shooting. So.
Alright, well on that note, well, it'll be interesting to see how this kicks off. It's going to kick off fast. Your army is fast. And I've set up a little trap here and we'll see if it works.
Well.
No idea if it will.
Yes.
Worth a bash. End of Demons turn 2. Now over here, we shuffled around to try and avoid charge arcs. It didn't really work because Dark had cleverly angled these things so that whichever way I went, there'd be some chariot or monster or something that could reach somebody. We hopped out a whole lot of magical attacks on these guys, and these guys. So basically flaming missile attacks, all needing 6s to hit, or 5s in this case. Didn't do much, then we bumped off 1 wound. This guy came around the flank, did a spell, only rolled 4 hits, did 1 wound, so it's hurting, but it's not seriously hurt.
Comes at the door. What she wants to get in.
Then I remembered that these guys had a spell that reduces the toughness of the target, which I completely forgot to do before shooting. That was silly. These guys put some shots on here and took a wound off.
Oh, here you go.
These guys put some shots on this guy, took a wound off.
Okay.
Now I used the conveyance spell to give the pink horrors over there fly,
Wow.
because I was very much afraid of the Gorgon, and the chariots that were going to clean them up. So I gave them fly, and I marched them at the full distance, because it's fly 12 amazingly. So they're miles away from the fight now, behind the lines. Then I charged the t-shirts and the bin chicken into the Gorgon in this attack, which I've been hoping to do ever since I started thinking of this army.
Yes.
Because the t-shirts have the lamprey's bite, so if you do manage to wound the bastard, which I needed 6s to wound him, but they do D3 wounds. So between the, what was it, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attacks I've managed to get out.
2 got 3 but multiplied to 4, which is pretty good considering the Gorgon has 6 and he's quite scary. So
That's right, yeah. And then Birdie Num Num went at the same time because he's got a great weapon, so his initiative was down to 4 on the charge. The Gorgon's initiative is 4, and then we found out the Gorgon has Monster Killer.
Yes.
Which I didn't know about, and I might have thought twice about attacking him if I had.
Yes, 3 attacks hit, but no 6s, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I was breathing a sigh of relief after that, because this could have all gone horribly wrong.
Yes, it should be noted that the Lord of Change did a total of 4 wounds to the Gorgon.
Yes.
So in terms of pure output, the flying t-shirts actually equaled the Lord of Change in a multiple matchup, which is quite impressive.
That's true. And then we were within charge arc of at least 1 chariot, so we thought we'll do the overrun, and we shuffled a bit. We'll see if that was enough to get out of the way. I'm not sure if it is. But anyway, that was eventful. I was a bit scared of that Gorgon. Now I've got the bastard. I'm feeling a bit better.
Yeah, he's dead. Crucially, that's know your enemy. I will remember the lamprey now that it's happened to me. So that was very cool.
Well, I'm going to remember Gorgon for the close escape as well.
Yes. Should be noted that it's actually a terrible matchup for the Gorgon because the Monster Killer won't work on the t-shirts and Killing Blow also won't work on them in this edition. So they're kind of immune to the Gorgon special rules, which is pretty cool.
That's interesting. I'll have to remember that for future. I've got a couple more of these t-shirts flapping around somewhere. But anyway, on that note, it is now time for turn 2 for the Beastmen. End of Beastmen, turn 2. And one thing tried to charge, this guy. And he didn't make it. And he got shot at but no wounds, because these guys stood and shot. These sneaky peekies came on for the back line, and well, they turned up in exactly the right place, really. Those pink horrors are going to have a bad day.
I thought about bringing them on over here with these guys being able to fly, but I don't know.
I'd trash them because I can fly, therefore I can charge over the top of my own guys into them. This lot marched up. If these guys don't get the pink horrors, I suspect these guys will. And these guys just moved to position themselves to do charges next turn, as did this chap here, who's got something on him he doesn't like. I can't remember what that was. And that's it. No magic, no shooting. So we'll move into Daemons. End of Daemons turn 3, and something worked! We threw a flying clusterfuck of dice at the standard bearer on his chariot. I put the flying spell on this guy, and I tried to move them around so they could shoot at him, but that didn't work in the end. I had to march them in order to get out of his charge arc, because if he charged him, he'd probably bump off after the unit without even trying. But between the slash attacks from these guys and the big birdies, when his shooting did nothing, but he got a spell off, we managed to kill it. It took a lot of ganging up.
The summoning. And of I think the slash attacks did maybe 2, and then got finished off with the summoning. So it was a good combined arms turn.
Yeah. That's right. Took a bit of doing, but we got there. Over here, we decided to stand and shoot at this guy rather than try and run away, and we took a bunch of wounds off him. No, we took 1 wound off him. Better than nothing. But he's going to charge them next turn. Over here, well, we moved these guys at the double and got them away from the Death Star here, so they're still in the fight, but these pink horrors are stuffed. They once again cast a thing to reduce this guy's toughness, and then they threw a whole lot of attacks at it and still rolled absolute garbage and did nothing. Then this slot, and this guy threw everything they could at this thing and did nothing. So all of our luck was over there, and it's sort of rubber banded over here.
That was pretty fluky on my part. Even the Herald didn't manage to cast this spell.
Yeah, that's right. Even if he failed his cast, look, it was worth a go. But I can't complain because I've taken out the standard bearer on his chariot.
Absolutely.
So my combined efforts are slowly chipping away to get an effect. On that note, we better push on. As Doug was saying, this is the first time we've had a turn 4. In this game.
We're still turn 3.
Well, we're still in turn 3.
We're going to get to turn 4.
Well, yeah. On that note, we'll check in at the end of Beastmen turn 3. It's the end of turn 3 for the Beastmen. We've got at least another turn in us for the evening. Let's see. This guy charged in. He passed his terrain test and he dumped 11 wounds onto this unit, and I saved 10 of them.
Yeah. Maximum impact hits
Probably,
7.
it's probably the best rolls I've seen from Chris in a very long time.
For saving 3, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was massive.
Although the funny thing is, I only had to take 1 wound off of it to kill it, and I didn't get that wound.
Yes.
What else? This lot all crashed into the pink horrors, and they're not there anymore.
Complete overkill.
Slaughtered the lot. Over here, this guy, he charged the blue horrors in the flank. Killed a few.
9.
But then they rolled really badly on leadership and lost all but 1. So basically 8, including the bad leadership roll. But there's still 1 there to time up for another round of combat, which is probably about as much as I could expect from a bunch of blue horrors charging the flank by a fucking horrific monster. And
the other thing is,
this thing manoeuvred.
If you're not going to be able to flame him or cast spells because you're still in combat, so it actually worked better.
Well, that's true, but fortunately it's a target-rich environment.
He might charge in with the flyer, maybe. We'll see.
It's tempting, but I think
Level
that's
1, he's not strong enough.
Yeah.
this thing's pretty killy, and that guy's pretty flimsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on that note, the core is still extremely powerful here, so I've got to rearrange my forces to deal with that.
Yeah.
I only
So
have 1 thing on the left flank and it only has 1 wound. So
I won't be there for much longer.
no. Hopefully it will, but I don't think so.
On that note, we'll check in at the end of Demons turn 4. End of Demons turn 4. Amazing. And well, let's start with the good news. We got a bunch of flying t-shirts in against the chariot, and they killed it. Took a wound off each other first.
Oh yeah, the trees.
Yeah, they flew into the trees and banged their heads a little bit, but that's all right. They killed the chariot, and I haven't lost any models. And in the end fight, even though they did absolutely nothing in the actual fight, the blue horrors decided to overrun the corpse of the chariot. I don't understand that, but them's the rules apparently. We cast the fly on these guys to manoeuvre them a bit more, and then shot at long range and did nothing. He shot at long range with his wand, did nothing. No, actually he killed 1. And then he did the summoning, which is a magic missile, and blasted an entire fucking rank off of it.
9 hits, but then great 2 wound rolls and
Yeah.
threw it off.
It's funny, when I killed the first guy, I thought, oh, is that a panic test? I didn't end up doing enough damage that it was a panic
And it
test.
was, yeah, absolutely.
These guys moved at the double again to get out of the charge area because they'll just get squished if they don't. So they're not doing a lot, but they're still there, which is always a good start, I find. Over here, we threw a shit ton of dice at this thing again, including the summoning, and I just didn't roll a single 5. And that's a lot of dice.
Yeah, that Razor Girl has been ridiculously blessed in that I haven't even had to roll a save just because nothing's been getting through.
That's right. This is the second turn in a row where I've just thrown tons of dice at it and he's just walked through it. And this guy, unsurprisingly, finished off the last blue horror. And that was in my turn, so he's positioned now to launch a charge at something over here. I wonder who that'll be. On that note, it's time to move into turn 4 for the Beastmen. End of Beastmen turn 4, and we're calling it here because we figure a turn 5 won't amount in any significant difference. It'll be turn 6 before there's a significant difference in this game.
That would take us way too long. So.
It would. It's nearly pumpkin o'clock. This lot, they're not dead. They're in skirmish formation.
Yeah, I only realised I could do that. That was more just for visual. So that's how it ended.
So they moved up a bit and moved into skirmish.
Yeah.
Over here, these guys moved up. This fella,
He
charged,
killed the Herald.
charged my Herald, and my Herald fell apart like a geek in a library, getting beaten up by a jock who also looks like a fucking dragon.
I was surprised that I was expecting him to have like 4 or 5 wounds or something. When you're like, oh, he's got 3
Well,
wounds. Like,
no, he's only got 2 wounds. But the other thing is, this thing's got ensorcelled weapons, which makes him incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, for him, that's really surprising. That was a good call in hindsight.
Yeah.
I just figured the disc would have made him like more durable somehow, but it didn't really seem to do.
Just the
anything
benefit
for
of
his
movement.
yeah, which is very good.
So, and that's about it. Right. Well, we got a couple of things to do. We have to work out what the points are, and let's do that first because this is close.
I reckon it's probably a narrow victory to the Tzeench.
So you killed the Herald, who's about 90, I think. 90 or
How
110.
much are the flamers, by the way? Because I wasn't sure which to go into.
Flamers are 120 for 3.
So they're out.
Yeah, so all my flames are here, my screams are here. You've taken out a blue horror and a pink horror unit. Blue horrors are 87, pink horrors are 126, so you've taken out 213 points.
Did you say that they had banners?
Yes, there's a banner in that unit of pink guys, not the blue guys.
The bonus for one set of banners.
So that's what, 25 points?
Yeah.
So you've got about 200 and... we'll call it 250, I can't figure out.
That's for everything?
That's all told.
Yep. Okay, no, definitely, because he...
Wait, no, sorry. 350.
Oh, okay. But still, it doesn't matter. Because he is no, he's not
So that's the
275
Gorgon?
anymore. He's
Alright.
245. The
chariot
Shaman is 90, I think? Or maybe not 90.
So
it's
that, so that
80.
matches my losses, more or less.
Yeah, and then there's the chariot. Battle standard bearer chariot, so he would be what makes the difference.
He'll be over 100 points, won't he?
Oh, no. So, because the base shaman I did upgrade him to level 2, so he's actually 110. And then,
Yep.
so this... Oh, plus you killed a chariot as well anyway.
Yeah.
Like
So-
a normal
so the-
chariot is 80 or thereabouts. Now
that's
he's
what you reckon.
200, so that definitely pushes him
280. So I've got about double the points cost, but it's a low points game.
to... Yes. So...
Okay, so fuck, I actually managed to
So
win.
it's 320...
This is nice because I've been losing or tying a lot lately, so I'll take a victory.
320 plus...
And I don't think you don't lose often with Beastmen. That's the other thing.
Four.
So you did
I'm
quite well.
trying. I've only played. This is like my 4th game of Old World, so that's in that different game set where I actually know the rules of my army.
Yeah, exactly right.
and know the rules of the enemy stuff. So
And
it's
these
quite
guys,
very different.
these guys terrorized my wood elves, and they gave my dwarves a tough fight.
So in this instance, in terms of the matchup, this is actually probably the worst possible matchup for me.
Yeah.
In that they have a magic banner which is 50 points, which is -1 to enemy armor saves.
Yeah.
But also and to friendly armor saves. But he has the armor of meteoric iron, which is not modified. So he kind of gets around that. But the demons don't have any armor anyway, so that was absolutely useless in this one.
Although your ensorcelled weapons gave me a hard time.
Yeah, that was surprising. So that's just that one. Did someone else have an ensorcelled?
He's got magic weapons.
Oh yeah, his magic.
I mean,
weapons,
these guys were always going to smash what they hit,
Yes.
but this guy would have taken a lot longer to do what he did if
Yes.
he'd not had that.
So with him, well, it wasn't because I thought I'll probably keep that same build with him just because it's a fun build and now I've like established him. So he is more for say if someone wants to actually fight him because he has an item which lets him heal 1 wound.
Oh yeah.
And the unit in close combat, which I forgot about, but it wouldn't have affected it, is -1 to hit. But against the unit, an army that doesn't want to fight it at all, as opposed to say something like a Khorne army or a dwarf or anything else which wants to fight it, that was not didn't even come into it. And yeah, probably my biggest mistake though is not knowing the rules, of course, of the screamers and that they had the multi wounds against monsters.
Well, I nearly came a cropper by not knowing him either.
Yes, but that's that's good. That's good that I can kind of remember that now. So I
And he's
didn't
got the
actually
frenzy
get
wall
to
as well, isn't he? Which
from
doesn't
the
help
start.
him.
No, but so him, I haven't really had a chance to test. So I'll definitely play him again, just because I haven't yet seen him roll to hit. Oh no, actually, I did get 1 round of combat before he died.
He did.
Yeah. But I'll still try him again just to see what he can do.
No, he's a scary piece of work. There's a reason I went stacks on that guy.
Yes, definitely. It's interesting. So I had 1,500 points. I had a shooting list, which would have been much better against this army. But if I brought that list, it would probably still be on turn 2 right now, because that's a much more kind of serious army. But with all of the little crap, it's going to take forever, and it's just not like feasible for these kind of afternoon games. So I thought it was a great matchup in terms of a pure combat army versus a pure shooting army. And obviously the massive maneuverability edge of the Tzeench Daemons was the difference. Plus the fact that there's nothing in my army that can remotely challenge a Lord of Change magically, so he was able to kind of cast spells with impunity.
And once he died,
so gentlemen, what have we learned?
First of all, Tzeench gets +1 to cast, so level 5 +5 for a Lord of Change is pretty insane. And then the other one I'll remember for sure is that the ward save doesn't work on magical weapons, so the magical weapons are quite strong against it.
your flamers are awesome. You use them as well as you should have.
Flamers are better than what we play them as now. We know that they can shoot more without.
I didn't realise, I hadn't had time to read the rules again, and I didn't realise these guys can march on the can shoot on the march, and then they don't get anything with quick shot, which is everything of mine that shoots. Doesn't get the -1 for moving and shooting. And I totally ripped myself off.
That's huge. In hindsight, because I brought a very quick playing army to hopefully get to turn 4, but that meant I sacrificed 100% of my shooting. And in this match, I really needed to have some shooting just to have a chance against the skirmishers. In terms of my luck, my player of the match is by far this Razor Gore, who miraculously
that guy soaked up so many dice.
Survived on 1 wound. So I know that the Chaos Gods have been watching this one, but I feel if anything deserves to turn into a Demon Prince, it would be that, because that by far outperformed the rest of the
And the Dragon.
And this guy made a mess as well.
He was pretty good. He was pretty cool. And then the Minotaurs with the ambush, that was interesting and fun to try. That definitely made a difference. But in terms of this matchup, because with this the spell that lets you make an infantry unit fly 12 inches, if you can't combat that, which I couldn't, there's
you don't
no
have
way to
spell against it.
No.
Because I did fluff a couple of spells here and there, but this guy did have a bit of a free reign.
To roll to get that.
I need a 9, but he starts at +5.
So you need 4, so that's pretty unstoppable. And fly 12 is incredibly
That's wild.
powerful.
Do that in the March. Oh my god.
Yes.
And I think your army's highly mobile, Chris.
Oh, it's
the last time I did this army, and aside from not realising that I could move and shoot properly, I had 2 big blocks of pink horrors, and I tried to put them in a stand-up fight, and it was a joke. It was a hell of a mistake.
Yes.
So I've decided an MSU approach is the way to go.
And I think, look, Tzeench definitely smiled upon you, but I think that was the right decision, because with them having Tzeench's lucky number across all the horror units, it's a great thematic demon army, and I think it's a very fun one.
I'm actually thinking I need to get rid of the standard bearer. I don't have the miniatures for it anyway, but I'm starting to think, well, I've got 1.
How gives it points at the end? Yeah, because I only read that like yesterday, and especially because they don't want to be in combat anyway.
I know, they're crap in a fight regardless.
Can the standard be magic that maybe makes their magic or shooting better? Or
I mean, I do have one converted. One of these miniatures converted and painted pink with the standard, which I was going to use as a herald standard bearer, like an army standard bearer, but the heralds don't work that way. That demons don't get standard bearers in the same way they used to.
Yes.
So, but but you can put a locus on a standard, and you can put a locus on a herald. So I could put a standard on the pink horrors, and get some beneficial effects. I didn't bother to do it because it's a low points game, and I needed a lot of little units.
I think because originally he's about 450, or like the Lord of Change.
Yeah,
he showed his worth in this with his ability to control the battlefield, like kind of like an all-rounder. So he can fight if he needs to with the great weapon, but he's kind of like a force multiplier. That was really cool.
What equipment did I give him? I gave him demonic robes, which means that natural rolls of 1 or 2 won't wound him. Well, that didn't mean shit here, but if you're firing cannons at him, it would. Oh, that's right. And
could have hurt him. Oh, he has a great weapon, so he would have hit at strength 7.
Against toughness 6.
Oh, so that'd still be a 3+, not a 2+ anyway.
And I gave him many arms, which is +1 attack. I think that's worth the points. But demonic robes is probably something which I should put on this wimpy little fucker over here, because everything kills him.
What does demonic robes do again?
They mean that when you roll a wound, 2s don't wound. They're like rolling a 1.
Yeah, on him that would have made, because the dragon ogre with the 2+ to wound.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
got 2 2s as well, so yeah.
So I've got to amend my kit a little bit. I can refine this army further, but the main thing to remember is I don't get penalties to shooting from movement.
I also think, from my observation, that you can't win a front on assault from the centre.
No.
So you going and putting strength on one side, one wing, worked really well, because then you can actually use your combo attacks and safeguard your troops in the attacks.
As well, in terms of the army, because demons, of course, immune to psychology, so having a general over there makes no difference, because they're not testing for terror or panic or anything. So I thought that was great.
Chris has had a strategic advantage in his positioning,
yes,
because he can sit back and just fire at you, and he's still got room to move back.
Yes,
and you'll whittle away. You will whittle away, and then you won't have the ranking numbers.
Yeah. So
anyway,
so the biggest, except that now in hindsight, I'm much better off actually just playing them as a massive blob. And going and having a 360 charge now, I know that I can do that.
Yeah, look, if you're going up against all comers, that's a perfectly viable strategy.
And deploying in the centre, you did well, but he will outmaneuver you. The matchup isn't in your favour.
No, so the biggest difference between this and my usual Beastmen is that I normally have more things to deploy. Like, so for my first couple of drops, it's the units of the Ungor, but in this, because it's an elite army, I had none of that. I was very out deployed, and I finished. I think you still had maybe 2 or 3 things,
and hence he strengthened
everything.
The flank.
So you could kind of wait until I put.
So a couple of thoughts on this, right? This army of yours would have done better against the dwarfs.
Maybe, because the hill, that's always going to be hard for chariots.
I wouldn't have put this terrain on if I was taking dwarfs.
Maybe it's a very different matchup. So but you don't know, because the dwarfs, because like you said, there's a lot of things of mine that you can shoot, and the dwarf, like for example him, if it was against dwarves, he would not be alive for sure.
I don't know. I mean, those sorts of dice rolls, you probably dodge every cannonball or hock that in. But
I was saved because you needed the 6s, I think, with the strength 3, whereas dwarfs are maybe they're shooting. You'd only be like.
I probably wouldn't bother shooting at them, to be honest with you, unless you went after the cannon. Then I'd canister at point blank. Yeah,
but so maybe because in this particular Beastman army, I just don't have enough deployment drops. The in hindsight, of course, I just did it because the building was all, and I don't know the building rules. So deploying the shaman there was a massive mistake, because it didn't help me at all against the magic. But I didn't know that.
Well, the funny thing is, I threw heaps of shooting dice at it, and because he was in hardcover, it didn't do a thing. Right. It was a magic missile in the end that got him.
But that gives no defense against that, does it?
That's right. They hit automatically.
Yes, I wasn't sure what the building did. So
and he was on his own. He was actually isolated on his own.
In front of 1,000 points worth of stuff.
Because he with the scout roll. So I was just trying it out, and I was thinking, we'll see what the building does. But because in my head I was like, maybe I can't be targeted by the missiles because of the lights.
And the funny thing is, in these tents, there's 2 or 3 blokes shitting their brains out right now. Their tower is on fire. Demons running around, beastmen running around, slaughtering each other.
Most of the casualties, it's the summoning spell. Like that's what killed the shaman. That's what killed the the beastmen.
Took a rank off.
Yeah, that was most of it. And even over here, he's almost dead because of the summoning. But he was pretty lucky. And that's
and it's a signature. Is it a signature?
Yeah, it is for demonology.
So demonology works with demons, funnily enough. I'll have to road test that. I was going to take battle magic, but I thought, just be in character.
In this matchup, the beastmen really do need to have a level 4 just to have a chance to be able to stop the magic.
With no shooting, you need to have something that can reach out and touch people.
Yes. Oh, no, more so for the chance to dispel.
Well, against this army, definitely.
Yeah, you basically had magic advantage on you.
I'd expect that anyway with the Lord of Change.
He had a deployment advantage
+5 versus just the fated or versus +4 is quite a huge difference.
Yes.
That was, but I thought it was a very interesting thematic game.
It
with
was.
the pure melee versus, but this is too limited. I knew that before, but I really wanted to get a 4th turn in, and we've done that. And now that I'm a little bit more familiar with the rules, I should be able to bring more stuff and still hopefully get to turn 4.
Yeah,
so I'm mindful of how slow you're taking a look up.
You've got a rock hard army, and it's got elements that can add real dynamism to it,
yes,
and move quickly. So, I think we're both refining our armies and learning a bit about how they go, but I think I'm
slowly making my way through the Beastmen roster testing.
Chris, just ask the viewers as well about when there was that charge.
Oh, you did combo
had
charges.
2 units charged to the front.
Oh, yes.
Against a narrow front of the enemy, maximising that rule.
Maximising the number of units. So both units have to maximise the number of models that are in combat.
Yes.
And they charge simultaneously.
Yes.
So the way Sean told me was that because it's simultaneous and you have to maximise your units getting in contact, then you make sure that all the units that can physically get into contact do get into contact.
Yes. And then
then you maximise how many individual guys within those units.
So we're not sure. That might well be. The point of contention is that if the Screamers had maximised, they have a much wider frontage than the single unit. So the only way for both to get in was for the Screamers to not maximise. And so because Games Workshop haven't really got enough in terms of diagrams, it's a bit
I can understand the argument, but I think if you say both units have to maximise, that means that both units have to be in contact.
Sure.
And whether it was 3 Screamers or 2 Screamers and a Demon, that's the same number of miniatures in contact.
Sure, but remember you said that wasn't in contact, and that's why it didn't get its proper attack.
No, one of them wasn't. Yeah. So you could either have 3 Screamers in contact, or you can have a Demon and 2 Screamers in contact.
Yes.
In your particular case, it pays to have a Demon and 2 Screamers in contact.
Yes, at the expense of the Screamer unit not being maximised. So
I'll see if there's a fact on this one, but look, hey, folks, if you're watching this, do feel free to comment and let us know what you think.
It might be because of the previous edition where it would always be the Screamers would maximise, and so
in the previous edition, the first unit would maximise, and then the second unit would try to fit around it.
Yeah,
So people are probably thinking 8th edition in the interpretation of the rule.
Immediately, so that could be wrong.
Because I think I tried calling Sean on that, and he went and pointed it out and all the rest of it. So, okay.
Yeah. I have Centaur, which now I'm seeing how the Flamers go would be excellent in this edition. I have heaps of them.
Oh, yeah.
But they have officially gone to 30x60s, and I don't have any 30x60 bases yet. So all my Centaur are on normal cavalry bases, but they have the same skirmish and that move and shoot rule, which is better than I thought, since we looked up with what the Flamers can do.
So they can gallop around at 18 inches and then hock some axes at people.
And to be fair, he, as lucky as he was, that was with the Flamers not really, the roll to hit would have been better than what we played it at, so he by all rights should have actually been dead, despite his ridiculous luck.
True. I could have stacked the odds more, but you know what? I think he would have flicked the other finger at us and he's done the same thing.
You never know with him being, you never know.
I mean, I had all my luck on this side of the table, and it wasn't too bad on this side of the table, but
Yes. I thought it was a very fun game. It was great to actually see this Tzeench army on the table and to be able to kind of take it on. And I think that the way that it plays is Tzeenchy, because to have a chance you really have to play it sneakily, and full credit to Chris, that's what he did. And just very few armies will be able to outmaneuver it. And against maybe things like Wood Elves and stuff, it'd be interesting to see the maneuverable battle. Because with the 10-inch fly on the Screamers, being able to march 20 inches in any direction that's insane. Because with the skirmish rule, so that's
Screamers go 18,
and they can fly over the top of things, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Poison arrows against the 5+ ward on this fella.
Yes.
He would not last very long.
They would still get you saved, right? Surely they do.
The ward save, yeah.
Is there a wood?
Well, they're enchanted arrows, but I don't think they're magic weapons as such.
Just imagine 20 wood elves with poison.
Yes.
3 wins
he's
turn.
In trouble.
Yeah,
yes.
2 turns. So they'll take 2 wins off of him a turn if his saves work.
He's in trouble. So there's a lot of points.
Yes.
And your firing range is 30 inches.
30.
So
he's only 18.
he would have to just sit back, and then you also have range restrictions on some of your spells.
Yes.
So if you want him to
Yes.
use his maximum scope of spells, he's going to have to get into something.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would be a very unpleasant fight.
Matchup wouldn't be very pretty.
For the demons, yeah.
No, it'd be Tricksy versus Tricksy.
You never know though, because that summoning spell on Wood Elves would hurt him on 3s. So
that'd be brutal.
And it can get their tricky stuff too. So
and Tomb
that'd be
Kings wouldn't be pretty matchup against him either.
No, because of those 5s to hit with the arrows. Yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun. I definitely learned because I'm playing these to learn how Beastmen are in this one. I definitely learned a lot in this one. So I think that was great, especially so the only thing in my army that has Swift Ride is that pig, which definitely limits my movement normally when I bring multiple pigs. So I think that's
what would you brought as an alternative to him points wise to maybe have an impact?
So
on the
in my shooting, you kind of army there's a Cygor which chucks the magic rock, which may work but it may not. But that could get lucky and kill a Great Demon one turn, or it could do nothing. You don't know. Or not that I would have brought in this one because I wanted to try it. The Jabberslithe, which in this matchup helps me a lot because then I
he
can
can fly too.
Yeah, because
so,
I have nothing to combat.
Jabberslithe
and he's pretty
scary.
tough in hand-to-hand combat too.
Yeah, he caused me some problems.
Yeah, I think that everything in the Tzeench army actually kind of does almost what you think that it should according to its law. So I'm actually quite happy in terms of how for that, the Arcane Journal, that for Tzeench I feel like it's had enough thought into it where it feels suitably Tzeentchian, which is great. So I think that's actually quite a big plus for the old one.
And it's good that Chris built the army so we could experience it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm awesome just to be able to play against the,
I played Tzeench, maybe 15 years ago, and they got destroyed, and I haven't had the courage to bring them back out again because they obviously didn't know how to play them.
My first game was very disheartening in terms of the likely return on investment.
I saw that because you're actually fighting orcs head on and stuff. Whereas
that didn't work at all.
But yeah,
you played this quite. You've obviously learned a lot.
You played this very well.
I'm playing them more like Wood Elves now.
The terrain, made a big difference, and that deployment, because I was very much out deployed because I didn't have the drops, and that put me at a massive disadvantage. And against such an army that's hard to catch, it would have been different if you'd gotten a bit unlucky and not rolled that one that lets you move the infantry.
Oh yeah. You might have clobbered a few of those guys. Yeah,
but I think that it's cool, and I like that pink horrors are noticeably better than blue horrors in that they can cast a spell and do the shooting attack. Because innate, I think they could cast a spell. There was no shooting attack, but they look like shooters, and I'm glad they can shoot.
Yeah. No, the in 8th edition there was only really the one type of horrors, because blue horrors was really a wound marker.
Yes.
Whereas I like the fact they get 2 tiers of infantry now.
Yes. Are these flaming flame attacks like flaming? Or are they just normal?
Actually, that's a good point. They're all flaming.
Yeah, it wouldn't make a difference in
against Tomb Kings. Would be nasty.
Yeah, and Tomb and stuff. But that's because in the previous edition, while I'm still a big fan of it, the flamer rule just didn't make sense. It was not flaming, despite them literally being called flamers. So now I think it gave them potentially regen, or it would just be weird.
Maybe they're just magic attacks. Let me look at this.
Oh no, it wasn't so much they weren't flames, but they had a weird special rule which made it a bit kind of crap. Whereas now I think they're more reflective of what they did. They have 2 wounds.
No, they're definitely flaming attacks now.
Yeah, that's great. They have 2 wounds each, right?
These guys?
Yeah.
2 or 3.
2, yeah.
I think it's 2.
I think it's 2.
Okay.
The t-shirts definitely have 2, but these guys might actually have 3. I'm not sure.
But with them being able to march and shoot, they're suitably hard to hit down, and they just look awesome. What bases are they on?
30s, yeah.
So are they heavy infantry?
No, they're just on the big base. So they're skirmishers, and they don't even fly.
So is that 25 base, or is that?
That's a 30.
It is a 30 base.
They look good on the 30s.
They do.
And that's that, because in between the 25s and 40, that looks like the right size for them. So I think that's and props to all you your base as well. The little flower tufts do make a huge difference in terms of the aesthetics.
Thank you. I've always wanted to do that.
When you rank them up, see how their arms are spread out? They're actually quite
hard to
they don't rank very
up
well
on a 25. So you actually do a favour. Even a 30, it's a bit but it's still. It helps.
I did like my ambushing minotaurs. That unit is only, I think, not that they did much in this one, but I think they're only like 120 points.
Yes, and
which is the same as
I should point out there's a dude there who has obviously been on the receiving end of a spell of some sort and has turned into a bear.
Yes, it was pretty much an excuse for me to get this model on the table. And with him basically being a 40 mil round and now being up to 50s, I feel like he's a great Minotaur champion.
He looks
substitute.
fantastic.
And he's got the size.
He's got the size. Look at him. He just
He's
looks
a
like...
pretty boy. I just want to give him a scratch behind the ear.
Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah. I think maybe you did. I think you shot at him maybe once, and that was the little flame lick behind the ear. But he leaves. They'll come back at another time. I can't say the same about the battle standard bearer who copped it a bit.
Oh, he got ganged up on rather badly.
It was horrible. Obviously that was a bit. They did not give him any actual saves, but that was just throwing for fun. So I think
it's hard to give things higher saves than this. Wood saves are expensive.
Just any kind of save besides that armor.
True. Well, on that note, it's heading for Pumpkin O'Clock, so folks, feel free to hit like, subscribe, let us know what we did wrong or other interpretations of the rules. But for now, it's time to call it a night.